Same with the little girl in the story. She learns, okay, every time I want to be angry, oh, I remember the rule, don't get angry. You know, everyone has a different archetype and reacts to their life in a different way when they're young. But whatever it is, there's no rule about how the rules are created. They're just created. And they're for your highest good, of course. We know this. But then they create a fear. The little laws, the little internal rules, they create fears. Oh, if I do this, I won't get love. So I'm going to follow that rule. I'll do what the tribe says. The tribe could be your teachers, your family. Don't be blaming the tribe, though. This is where we're all going wrong, is blaming people for things that aren't right in our lives. And this is what the legal system is doing, because this is what society said the legal system should do, because this is what we've all been doing. And we need to undo all that by becoming emotionally mature, dropping the fears. So what happens is when we move out of the tribe and we go out into our own world as parents, because we've no longer got parents or people now telling us what to do, we go out into the world and we say, oh, hang on a minute, you're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to get angry. What's that anger? I've rejected anger. Now, that was me. 30 years of marriage, I'd rejected anger. So, of course, there was like a lot of energy in that relationship. I was an enabler because, oh, girls have to be nice. And I even said at one point, I'm not an angry person. Well, yeah, okay, I wasn't going around in fits of rage, but the thing is I had suppressed my own anger. And in doing that, in suppressing my own anger, I've disconnected from a part of me. I'm no longer authentic. I'm emotionally immature because I don't know, I haven't allowed my anger to mature itself. When I cut off from my anger in my very small childhood, I didn't bring that emotion with me. It was repressed in time. So eventually, you know, my rule was created back at, say, 3 years old. And I've moved forward in time, but I've left part of me back in the past. So what are fears? Fears are basically worrying about an event in the future. As I said, your rational fears exist in the now. Yeah, if I stick my finger in the PowerPoint, I'll probably get electrocuted. That's a now moment. But if I'm worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, if it's going to rain on my parade or whatever it is tomorrow, how can I predict the future? I can't predict the future. And in fact, I'm trying to predict the future on my limited knowledge. I have this limited idea that I know what's going to happen based on my own beliefs. So those rules, those fears. So I might just say, oh, every time I go out on this day, it rains. You know, I'm creating my own reality. Like I said, you're looking into this space, you're seeing a reality, and this is our news, okay? This is our news showing you a minute piece of reality. And so you think this is what it is. But you have no idea what the rest of my environment looks like. It's nice, but, you know, I'm just saying that the narrow focus is now you're probably, because of your beliefs, you've created an idea around what all this means in my space. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But all we're doing for ourselves is limiting our possibilities, our future possibilities of the choices we can make. So we make limited choices. So going back to this idea that you head out into the world, you take with you the tribe's rules. Now, what happens then is, if you take the tribe's rules with you, they're going to clash with someone else's rules. So this also tells me why do we have these rules or fears? This person's set of fears is, you know, don't be silly or you won't get loved or whatever it is. And that clashes with someone else's. So for example, the young man that doesn't want to, he's got to be tough. Yet he's out there and someone makes him feel emotionally upset. So he gets angry. And I see this all the time in family law. Domestic violence is really that, is that young man not being able to express his emotion. His little self, his beautiful little self that knew it was okay to cry, was told, no, it's not okay to cry. And he's like, I hurt myself. So he's disconnected from a part of himself. He is not whole. He is not all that is. And so he's not allowed to bring that emotional aspect of himself through into maturity. And not being able to do that, he'll react. And it's usually in anger for men. And, in the legal system, particularly because we've cut off from emotion, and that's a big one, especially for men. If we can all show them that it's okay to be emotional. And it's not, this is the thing people are thinking, oh, if I'm emotional, if I'm angry, I'm going to be this all the time. No, it's just knowing you have those emotions available when you need to express them. Because being a part of all that is means you need to express all that is. We need to express all of ourselves. So when he's going out into the world, interacting, there becomes maybe a domestic dispute. He comes to his lawyer, and what happens in the legal system? Because the legal system is a reflection of your internal legal system. It's just more rules. It says, he goes into his lawyer and say, oh, she got angry with me. We need to separate. I'm going to blame her. I've got to blame somebody else for the way I'm reacting to life, because it's not my fault. People don't want to take responsibility. They want someone else to validate them. So what do they do when they come to a lawyer? You hand your fears over on a plate saying, I can't handle it, you take it for me, be my parent, blame them, win for me. And that's what happens. The lawyer continues to perpetuate the separation from you and the answer to you becoming more emotionally mature. They take the problem away from you, battle it out in court for a lot of money. No one wins, and no one especially wins, because you'll repeat the pattern. You go with yourself wherever you go. You take yourself with you, which I love, that idea, because you and your patterns, your rules, your internal legal system goes with you wherever you go. So you're just going to meet someone else and do the same thing. We all know someone that's gone from one bad relationship to the next, and the patterns repeated itself. And it will continue to repeat itself until you've gone and owned that lost aspect of you, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for wholeness. You're looking for love, but you're looking outside of you for it, for someone else to complete you. Or the chocolate might help me. Well, it does temporarily. It's a good feeling. And that's what I say. You're always checking in with how you feel. But you see, these things have projected out from us and created this world where we say, oh, let's blame someone. It's them. I was at an event one night with these criminal law mums. Now, they weren't criminals, they were lawyers that work in the area of crime. And they're mums, and they were sitting down having a bit of a discussion. It was a nice panel on what it's like to be a mother in the legal profession, or in any profession, actually, or working mother, full stop. And they were talking about the guilt they carried with them from doing their job. For example, you get a text, and I've been there. I've been that working mother as well. You get the text, oh, Johnny's in sick bay, and I should be going to Johnny because I should. Now, should's a rule word. I should. I'm obliged. Why? Who said? To go as a mother to collect Johnny and give him some nurturing. But hang on, I'm in my career here in court with the situation I'm in. And they were talking about the guilt trips that happened for them. And I thought to myself, it was very interesting to hear it, because they were talking really on the expectation of others. They were afraid of what others were thinking. They were feeling guilty. These are all negative emotions. Those are all fears, because they've created rules that say, I should be like this, I should be more nurturing, or I shouldn't think of myself first. These are all little rules you've created as children. Don't put yourself first. Be more loving. So when they were sitting there talking about this, I thought, how interesting. What they've done is they've effectively, because I asked them at the end, I said, who are they? Who are these people that's created this expectation of you? You're all saying you don't want this expectation, but now it's called fetishism, when the rules you created are now controlling you. We call it legal fetishism. It's imploding. And they all, you could hear a pin drop, because they were thinking, well, yeah, who actually created these rules that we're trying to live up to that's about us? And I thought, yeah, that's it. You've got to go back and find the rule you've created as individuals. And this is the important part, the individual rules we've created, which are saying to us, I have got this rule, I must act out a certain way. And these are unconscious rules, not conscious. You don't even know you have them. But the world is your mirror. Everything in your life is there for you. And that's when you come to your lawyer. The lawyer could, and I have talked about this before, as how lawyers could be healers, that if we were to look at our problems when they're brought to us as lawyers, and the lawyer could say, well, oh, this is just a mirror for what's going on with you. Take some responsibility. Most people don't want to hear that. Most people want to be validated by somebody else. They've lost their own personal power. They're looking for validation externally to them, looking for love externally. And when we say we're looking for love, that's what we're all doing. I mean, people suicide because they're not getting love. So love is the most important thing. But the fear is just sitting over the top of the love. If we dissolve the fears, what's left? We are love. We know that. And we're all connected. So to find those fears, what do? How do we go in and find them when we don't know that they exist? You've got to shine a light, of course, into the shadow, into the darkness. Carl Jung called it the shadow. I like to call it the internal legal system, because it's just so poetic that the internal is reflected externally as a legal system, that we're trying to follow the rules. And even in law, if we'll have a big case and the judges won't even agree on outcomes, there's no certainty in the system. No certainty at all. It doesn't protect you. They're fears. The only thing that's certain is love. So how do we find the fears? Well, what we have to do is go back and see where we created the rule. But a nice starting point, and I love this, I work with couples and I work with clients that have come in, and as I say, I don't work in law anymore. I'm a global jurisdiction. So I work in a space which says, okay, let me see, you've got a legal problem, do you? And people say, oh, why don't you go off to a psychologist? Why are lawyers doing this? And I say, well, people have got a legal problem. They don't think they have a problem because they can't see it. So they're not going to a counsellor. They're going to a lawyer. And in fact, I say it's all science anyway, so there shouldn't be lawyers or counsellors or anything. It's all science. But that's another story. So we've got to find the rules where they're created. So you may or may not have heard this little exercise, but it's a nice reminder and I like it. There's two things we can do. Now, I'd like you to all think of a person that you dislike the most, and remembering everybody is there as your teacher. Everyone that rubs you the wrong way, the government, everybody is there to teach you something. It's your reaction to it that's important here. So when you're thinking about that, I want you to write 3 words about those sets of people or the person. You might say, you know, I don't like angry people. I don't like narcissistic people. I don't like show-offs. Then I want you to write down 3 words of people that you adore, admire, want to be like. It could be happy, it could be confident, it could be a show off, be a dancer, anything. Then what you need to do is sit down in front of the mirror and put this in a sentence. Say you said, I don't like liars. And say this, I am a liar. That'll often tell you where you've got a rule. Because if you can't say that and it flows out without some negativity, I've had people say to me, oh, I've choked on the word, I've choked on it. You've created a rule, because we are all aspects. Remember, we are everything. If you reject liars will come into your life. They want to be owned by you because you've rejected it. It's the attraction of that energy. You get what you don't want as much as what you do want. Law of attraction operates on both polarities. So yeah, and as soon as you can say I'm a liar, because of course you can be a liar. You can lie about your best friend looking great in that outfit because you just wanted to feel good. You can be everything. Trust me. And that's another story, because a lot of people don't understand that. They say, well, why, how could someone murder someone, for example, and other terrible things? And I say, people do things because they think they'll feel better in the doing of it. That could be murdering somebody. So if you put a rule around don't murder, do you think that's going to stop a murderer? No. Their internal legal system, the internal rules that they're running as their own legal system, has much more power than any external legal system you can ever create. You all break laws. We all do. We speed, or, say lies, thou shalt not covet, what is the lie one? Whatever that is. We all do it. So no one can say they're not a rule breaker. And recently in Australia, we've had sexual harassment within the legal system and from high up judges and the like. And you know what they want to do? They want to put more rules around it. Well, rule breakers break the rules. They broke the rules in the first place. Do you think putting more rules or fears around breaking a rule is going to stop somebody? No, because your internal systems are far more stronger than that. So what do we do? I mean, this is a conundrum. The legal system is crumbling because it doesn't know what to do anymore, because it's going backward. It's looking upside down. What we need to do is get those people, like the murderer. Why did you murder somebody? What within you, what rule did you create within you that said you would feel better in doing that? Because we're all moving to love. We're all relief. We just want relief. We'll get relief in the bottle of wine, shoe shopping, chocolate. Doesn't matter where it comes from, it's all the same. When you have a negative emotion, you want to move toward a positive one. You want to feel better, so you'll do anything to do it. It could be powerlessness. There's a range of things, because there's an emotion that needs maturing. So we need to go back in time, find where we created it. And it could be as simple as those words that I said. It could be as simple as when you're reacting to somebody in your space, thinking, what must be true for me to react like this? Say, it must think, I think that person is silly. Well, what's wrong with someone being silly? What's wrong with that? Or I think that person's obnoxious. Well, what's wrong with that? I don't have to hang out in this space, do I? Because if you don't have any reaction, you have no energy in it. And you're not meant to be there. In fact, you probably won't see obnoxious because you don't see it. It doesn't resonate with you. I have methods where we can go back in time and connect the emotion to an event. And as soon as we do that, what we do when we go back in time and connect the emotion to the event, we can say, when I was young, because remember, you didn't have your rational mind operating then. When you were young, you reacted validly to your world. And this is where you can self-validate and you start getting peace. You dissolve rules. When you find where you've created a rule, a little law, you bring it into the consciousness. You've effectively shone a light on it. And when you do that, You can say, oh, yeah, I see how that was created. I see how I acted validly for, like, I see how I threw that doll across the room and hit that girl on the head. Of course I'm going to do that. I'm 3. And you self-validate. And it's almost miraculous how that works. And then suddenly you don't have that need to mature your anger anymore. It becomes part of you. Some things are quite traumatic for people, and we need to, that's another conversation, but they're the essences of it all. Just going back in time, because your small self is acting out. So to become fearless, you go in and you find the fears, and your life around you is showing you where that's all operating. And now when you're dropping those fears, when you're dropping these fears, what's happening is you're becoming more peaceful internally. And guess what? Your perception of the world changes. So you see less of the things that agitate you, less things that you react to. So your world seems more peaceful. This is amazing. And this is why I see that if you are dropping all these rules internally, becoming fearless, becoming more emotionally mature, not only are you moving toward peace internally, but as Gandhi also said, be the change. Be the change, because that will reflect externally. The world will become more peaceful because you're not reacting to everything. When you say, oh, I see what that is, that could be me. That's my other self. We have compassion. We have compassion for the murderer, the rapist even. We understand it's all part of the journey. So when I went back to the idea of when I said to my son, rules are for idiots, I thought that's the foundation of it. Because we've intellectualized this life. Now our intellect's brilliant. We need it. We need our egos there. We are in a human body. But it's not the ruler. We can't think our way out of things anymore because we're projecting these futures that are limited. When you're operating in the now moment with no one else's rules behind you, when you're not drawing on some database of, oh, mum said, or the teacher said, it's rather, what do I feel? You've just opened up your whole life to infinite possibility, and you're authentic. Your authenticity then shines through. When your authenticity shines through, we get you in the world. I get to see another aspect of the whole. Valuable you is authentic you. It's not you want to be me, or I want to be you, or you need to be what your parents said, because then you're being your parents. I need authentic you. So if you're running under someone else's rules, under someone else's legal system, you're not you, and you're not operating from your authentic place, your authenticity. Now I just have to see what the time is. So that's really what I wanted to say today, is that by dropping these rules, becoming emotionally mature, becoming fearless, we can bring peace into the world by our own work. And you do that by just noticing how you feel in every moment. That's it. That's it. How do I feel? That's my mantra. How do I feel? How do I feel? How do I feel? If I want to go and do that thing over there, oh, that doesn't feel good. How does it feel? That's really important. It's all about how you feel. Nothing more. It's about you and how you feel. And helps you flow through life rather than be structured into, I must do this, I'm obliged to do that, I've got a rule about that, I should lose weight, I should. No, there's no shoulds. They're just rules, fears. So every time you're having a negative emotion, there's a little rule. Go back and think about it, saying, what would happen if I dropped this fear? The rule. Would the world implode? Probably no one will even notice. It's your construct, your reality you've created. And this is what Lawyers for Love are trying to do. We're trying to show people that the legal system is not what it's all cracked up to be. It's not keeping you safe. It's not certain. We need an alternate platform. We're building one where we show people every time you have a conflict, you have an opportunity to find a fear, find a rule. It's your internal legal systems we're dealing with now, not the external ones anymore. Stop all that. Let's go within. Many people say the kingdom of heaven is within. So yes, that's what I want to talk about today. And I really hope that that's been helpful. And I am available for sessions. I think in the swag bag, I've got a little 15-minute free session with people if you want to just talk about how some internal rules have been created and where the fears might be, and I can guide you in that respect or help you further. Or if you know any lawyers that want to work in a more loving space, we're certainly operating in that platform now. The times have been fabulous. So thank you all so much. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
There is one question for Virginia, and it's from Myra Z. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She said, is it true about law of attraction? I am very sensitive with judgmental, angry, and rude people. The more I avoid these people, then I meet another similar people in a different place and area.
Oh, yes. Look, Maya, that is so true. The law of attraction is always working for you. So if you are meeting these judgmental and angry people, it's probably because you're running a little rule saying, I'm not allowed to see that in others because I can't see it in myself. And as I was saying, we've been taught, especially women, we've been taught, don't be angry, don't assert yourself. It's okay. You are all that is. And without you and some anger within you, and you do have to find where you came up with the rule that said you're not allowed to be angry. And it'll be somewhere, someone in your childhood. It could be the most minor thing that's happened to you. But you will keep meeting those people, and they're there to show you. They're your mirror saying, own me. Say this is okay. And just by doing that may be enough for you. That's absolutely true. It's the law of attraction is always working for you. For you. Yeah, it might be pulling in things that you think are negative, but they're opportunities. They are just opportunities for you to grow. So grow yourself back to your wholeness. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, how to be strong and grounded. I just read you. Yeah, when we're criticized by people. Yes, it is difficult to be strong and grounded when you're criticized by people, but remember, it's only your reaction to the person. If they're criticizing you, they've got their own work as well. Why are they saying you're no good? Basically, they're saying they're no good because you're a part of them and they are a part of you. So they've got their work as well, but the energy has come in so that you can meet each other in that space. But you walk away with that and think, okay, what work do I have to do not to react to that? Because, yeah, we all get criticized and all these things happen to us, but it's our reaction to it only. Our ability to respond is our responsibility. And this is where it's really important in this day and age, because everyone is blaming everyone else for this society that we're in. Just stop. Just stop. If we all step back now and say, okay, how can I be more responsible, more loving? Why am I reacting? Why am I saying it's their fault? What rule must I have created to say it is? They're really, really important questions. Now, if there are any other questions? What do I think about hurt people? Hurt people, absolutely 100% true. They are hurting and it makes them feel better. Remember I said everything anyone does makes them feel better. They feel better in the doing of hurting people, and that's why they do it. You only do something because you feel better when you do it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So if someone's hurting you, they're getting some relief, like, oh, I've elevated myself, or, that gives me some relief to hurt you. but it's nothing to do with you. It's to do with them. So we have compassion for them, saying, gee, you're hurting. Now, you're not responsible for them at all. That's their work. Your work is yours. Oh, how do we heal the political divide when it's almost half the country on each side? Beautiful question. Again, we are fractals of the whole. You do the work with yourself. If we reach critical mass in that we've all done our own work, it's all going to shift. It's just energy. That's all it is. But because we still believe in and we focus on political divide, if we keep focusing on that, what do you think we're going to get? We're going to keep getting that. So yes, please, everyone, just look at where you sit. How am I responsible for me and my reactions? How am I responsible for my love for me? It's emotional maturity. We're all emotionally immature because, and yeah, it all formed when we were children, but we can all go back and visit it and bring our small selves into the now. So we're making decisions from now, and love exists now. We see it in our politicians. Most of them are emotionally immature. But if we can see it and start working on ourselves, then we don't react to it anymore. Then we can build more constructive ways of activism is a nice word. There can be better words for that as well. One person at a time, Jenny. Yeah, absolutely. One person. Start with self, always self. Because when you change the energy with you, of course you're changing it for the whole because you're part of the whole. And you're slowly, everyone's doing this. We're all changing it up for the whole. You're only responsible for you. I know it sounds selfish. People think selfish. The word selfish is so self-centered and conceited. It is not. We have to look after the energy of self first. Yeah. We keep forgetting. I mean, that's what we're here for. We came and we forgot. And then we get caught up in the systems. And the systems, those negative energies are keeping us there familiar, and they keep drawing us back in. So we've got to change the programming for ourselves. Any more questions?
It looks like you still have about 7 minutes. So you can go to the very end second, if you would like. I would maybe suggest, Virginia, that if you do have a website or an email address, if people need to get in contact with you, that you can enter it into the chat.
Okay, let me do that. I'll just we'll just say my organization is Lawyers for Love. And what we're doing here with Lawyers for Love is we're teaching people, because also what we don't realize is that documents in our society are infused by fear. And I didn't know, I think I'd get enough time to talk about this today. Lawyersforlove.love. Lawyersforlove.love is my website there. How to make peace with ourselves, enemies, and abusive family. Yeah, look, that's beautiful. Really, yeah, it is coming back and seeing where you've created the rules. The family helped you create the rules, but it's your work. And yeah, I do individual sessions with those, Maya, too. Yeah, I do individual sessions so that there are many modalities out there to help you, but it is your work. It's got nothing to do with them whatsoever. And trust me, I've been through I've grown up in abusive households. I know exactly what you're saying, but it is all your work. It is our own responsibility. Because, yeah, this life, this world, and our media, they're all infused with fear. And one thing I really noticed is our contracts, our legislations, all our laws, they're infused with fear. And that means that I'm going to punish you if you don't follow what the document said or what the law said. You'll get punished. So that's fear-based. You do things because it's conditional love. They're trying to keep you safe, but it's conditional on you doing what they say, else they won't love you. They'll punish you. So what Lawyers for Love are trying to do is get the words into documents. Love is of the essence. What that does is infuses documents with the word love. It has its own vibration because there's documents are ruling relationships around the world. And it's just our whole society is underpinned by fear. The words, they're all there. It's fear-based. Me versus you. What will happen if you don't do what I say? And I have a whole discussion on relationship with people and how to flow them and not structure them into boxes with fear. Flowing is the best because if you're flowing through a relationship and being your authentic self at all times, then I know you're on the planet being you. That only benefits me because you're bringing to the planet what you are supposed to bring. I'm bringing to the planet what I'm supposed to bring. Not what someone said you have to bring, because we don't have a crystal ball to say, oh, in 5 years' time, I know I'm going to want to do this work and that's going to happen. It's a nice idea when people get together and try and build a contract or relationship around an idea. That's fantastic. Or even an intimate relationship. But what will happen is ideas will change and you'll flow, your energies change, and you need to keep flowing. And you need to be not punished for wanting to flow in and out of things. And I can show you how that works at another time. But underpinned by the documents governing us, because I say there should be no contracts, no laws, because if we were all genuinely in our hearts and intuition, we would know what to do. We would know, oh, lawyers for love called love. Love is a state of being without fear, which operates for the highest good of all in every moment. Now, that's a legal definition we've given it because lawyers need to get their head around things like this. But it means living from a place without fear. So I don't care. I don't have an agenda when I'm talking to you. I don't need to pull your power. Nothing like that. And when we're making a decision based in love, we're thinking about the highest good of all in the moment. What's good for me and you and you and you and you? It could be you flowing out and someone else flowing in. And then that would be for my highest good. Because I need to learn something, or there could be something better flowing in. Why are we hanging on to things like, oh, this is familiar? That's why. It's familiar. It feels safe to us. It feels familiar. People are afraid of the unknown. We don't want to live in the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen next, but you don't anyway. You just don't. You think you've been kept safe. We don't need parents anymore. We need to follow our hearts. And even science says, the heart space is always sampling the future for us. So get out of your heads, get out of your fears. The fears are all in your head. They're just thoughts. They're just thoughts you've created. And come back into your heart, and your heart knows the directions to go. And it's how do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? Well, if there's no more questions, I think that's me for the day. And I thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. It's so fantastic to be able to sit in one country and talk to people in another and have such a wonderful time. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for your time, Virginia. What a beautiful talk that you had. Thank you so much. Much love.
Thank you, Ashley.
Much love from, I'm in Montana right now.
Montana, okay.
Montana.
That's nice. It's dark outside there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you have a beautiful day, and thank you, everyone. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, that's lovely, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Thanks, Christine. Thank you, everyone. So appreciate this.
Thank you.
Opportunity. Thank you.
Your host is. Your host is on. Actually, Dan, go into schedule, and then from schedule, then click on to your presentation. So scroll up on that page, hit schedule, then you're going to scroll all the way down, all the way down. This is Ashley. Hello. So then you're going to click on your name under set where it says session 2. Yep. Did Tony send you a link that you can just? Well, it looks like he's entering as just as a participant, as an attendee. I don't think so. No, I think that's good. Oh, don't close that. Yeah, press where the green button. I think it's just loading. Yeah. Yes. And I will be introducing you. Are you also going? Are you with him, or are you in a different location? Okay. I'm not 100% how that will work, but we will figure it out. Yeah. Um, I would like because it looks like your computer's maybe a little bit frozen up. I would maybe like you to go to the where it says eventhub.shop/New Living Expo and just refresh your page. Okay. Yeah, Chrome is the best platform to use for this website. Works the best. Yep, exactly. And then you're going to say allow it to use your camera and your microphone. Your attendees can hear everything that we are saying. So don't say anything bad. Okay, so it looks like yes, 35 to any age. Yeah, we can see that. I think, Dan, if you were to stop sharing your screen, then G would be able to come up and see her picture if that matters for you guys. I can see G now. So I think, Dan, what you need to do is completely unshare your screen because you guys are very little on the screen. And yeah, you guys are doubled up exactly. So at the very bottom where you see the picture where it says stop video, mute, and then it says stop sharing, click on that where your cursor is right there, press that. Where it says stop share. Yep. 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 And now G, you're sharing your screen, is that correct? Okay. Yes. Same to NN said that he is not able to see your virtual booth. Maybe you can guide him to be able to, for him to get to your virtual booth. Dan, I'll type your email in there. So Dan at TCL Stem Cells. Yeah, let me put that in. .com. Okay, what's your contact number, Dan? Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that like as much of a problem as I did when I was younger, but definitely when I was younger, I had that hormonal acne and just that general kind of stuff, but nothing dramatic or anything. But I did just want to let everyone know that after this session is over, that the chat is not going to save. So I would suggest if anybody does need the website, phone numbers, links, to copy and paste them and put them somewhere safe because once this session is done, the chat does not save. That's one thing that this platform does not do is it does not save the chat. I am recording your session, so it will be available for 30 days, and you can go and watch that again, but the chat does not save. Just want to let everyone know that. And you guys can go down to the very last second. You still have 2 minutes left, so fill your session time up, I would suggest. Hi. Thank you. That's a long time ago. Phil Wilson, were you at the first Whole Life Expo? What did you say, Rob? Just MIA. Who's talking? Kathleen, where are you? Oh, nice. A lot of California. Well, my last person I was doing his like secondhand girl, G, was in Missoula, Montana. Yeah, it was just two different sides of the world, really. Yeah. Yeah, me too. But then once you start talking, then it moves. So I think whoever's talking moves to the top left-hand corner. Do you see how many people are on here? It doesn't show me on my end. You got your camera on. Jane, I don't know why you're on there twice. I only see one picture of you. I didn't have to boot anyone out of my room. Two different windows open, a photo bomb, video bomb. Jane, top right-hand corner. And just sleeping? Well, there's Vivian Chavette. Vivian Chavette. She got cut off. She was the first speaker. Yep. Nope, she only got cut off in the beginning. I didn't go to her room to see if she's on because it starts at like on the 7:30 hour. I don't know, I haven't gone to her room. Hopefully she's on. Oh good, because she couldn't figure out how to share her screen last time. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I hope that it was helpful some ways. I for me it was I it took me a little while to figure out the loom and recording, but after I figured it out, I was like, okay, I can do this. But after that, before that, I really didn't know what was going on. Hmm. Yeah, there's nothing you could do at that. And I think if any of the speakers, if their presentation is messed up, then they can always re-record it, upload it to YouTube, and then send it to Ken and send it to Tony and do it that way. Because that's the best option. So on your screen, were you able, because I turned everyone's all the attendance videos off so that your screen, so when I was in your room introducing you, I could see you big on the screen. And then if I had my video on, then I was up on that little middle section, and my video was small. So it kind of, but it for everyone that was in your video, they could, I think that they could see you in the larger screen. Mm-mm. Yeah, for some reason it was not sharing your screen at all. It's just a PowerPoint. It's a better, yeah. Yeah, there's only so much that we could do versus like, yeah, there's just a little things that there needs to be tweaked and changed. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, Kitty, because you were sharing your screen at that point when it was when it did give you that warning, because it was you're just looking at your screen, you weren't looking at your other little picture that you couldn't see the warning, the 5 minutes. Yeah, yeah, that it wasn't. Mhm. Yeah, no. So you wouldn't necessarily see the video. So when and I think it's just kinda different for everyone, like, I know, Phil, you were able to see a video, Kitty, if I don't know why if, some people could see their video, the 2-minute video beforehand, and then some people couldn't. Some people could share their screen, no problem. Other speakers couldn't share their screen. They were having issues, so it depends on obviously, like, what platform that you're using, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, that makes a big difference. Depends on what kind of computer that you're using. If your computer is really old, it's not gonna work as good. Like, I have an old computer that did not I could not get Chrome on, so I that my computer just was not working for that. And so there's a lot of different variables. And, but I mean, as far as like your presentation, Kitty, you were very clear throughout. It didn't, like, your audio is clear. No one was really saying that they couldn't hear you. So that's good. And because a lot of the other speakers that I was in, like, people were saying, we can't hear the speaker, we can't see anyone. And so, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm, mhm. Yeah. You got booted. Two sep- there's some tweaks that need to be happened, but I have a whole list of stuff that we changed right here. So we're- we are we are taking notes, and we need your guys' feedback, because as participants, as attendees, we can see the behind the scenes stuff, but we don't see the interactive, what's going on in the rooms, not being able to see audio, visual. So we can't see that unless people put it in their chats. So Yeah. Because if everyone had their videos on, it would be like this, where only a couple people you could just see their like just the little screens instead of seeing the speaker in that full box. What were you saying, Rob? When you first signed on to the oh, thank you, Kitty. Hi. I got it written down. Did you go? Thank you. Thanks, babe. I'm almost done here. Bye. Amazing. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Dad. Bye. Bye. Lots of love.
And I've wondered ever since. So that was back in 2000. Aging, and why do some people age worse than others? And
then from there, we have other patches, antioxidant press.
All the patch placements that they recommend are based on just to hit that girl over the head with the dog. That was my reaction. Another example. A little boy runs down the hallway, runs into the land through the fence, and the